You've signed Xuan to a scholarship contract. He's obviously been part of the first team squad for a while now, but what's the reason for deciding that you rate him and want to give him a contract?
I think there's a number of reasons. I think from a technical and tactical standpoint, I think he takes on a lot of information. He's very quick to absorb ideas, and he's been very consistent at training. He's had some setbacks with injuries and so on. He rolled his ankle a couple of times, and he's able to manage himself through rehab very well. But for me, the big thing is the mentality. I think he's got the right mindset to be a very good player.
And Matt Sheridan's obviously signed a long-term contract, and you've just re-signed Tim Payne as well. So do you feel like you're pretty sorted for right back for the foreseeable future? Yeah,
I think so. I think it's very healthy in those positions. Payne obviously re-signed for an extended period. His intention is obviously to do the best he can here and also go to a World Cup, which is what we want for all our players. I think Shez is a bit in a different boat than Payne and Xuan because Payne and Xuan are probably more specialists to that position, whereas Shez can play anywhere, and you've seen that already. I played him, as a winger, as a 10, as a 6, as a right full-back, even as a centre-back. So, but I think, definitely we have a lot of depth now in that position.
Did you ever think you'd be coaching against Juan Mata?
No, but we played him in a pre-season friendly. It was very, accommodating, very, what's the word? Friendly, and nice guy as well. So, it's great. He was one of my, heroes when I started coaching, and I remember him, getting panned in England, which I never got. He's a fantastic player, unbelievable technically, and just I think a good person as well. And
you've lost Colakovski for the season. So when did that happen? It was just sort of the day after the game.
Yeah. So we had a X squad, which is all the players that on the bench who didn't get called up to game day. And it's usually a pretty intense session. It's to make up the loads for those players. And I think we had some one-on-ones or 2v1s sort of training at the end. And I think he was trying to jump over a tackle. And when he landed awkwardly on his left knee and kind of shifted all the weight and put all the pressure on the flex. And I think the knee just gave way, couldn't handle that sort of pressure. So very unfortunate. Colla, in the small time that he's been here, he's made a huge impact on the group. He's a great kid. We've got a lot of talent. We're starting to see a glimpse of it in games. I think the big disappointing part was, he didn't really have a lot of activity in the pre-season, so he had to make up for that while he was here, and it's just disappointing because I think he would have given us something different.
Yeah, because you've got a few young wingers and a few guys who are struggling to get a look in. Do you feel like you've got the options within the squad to step up and replace him, or when the transfer window opens, is there
No, first of all, I always look internally first. I think we've got enough young boys that are consistent at training and so on. I mean, you've seen Soups now started to make the game day squad, and I've got Luke Brooksmith and Gab Rodriguez as well. Chomping at the bit, waiting for an opportunity. Their time will come. It's just more about opportunity, right timing. At the moment, we've got also a new influx of young players that are starting, trying to find their feet. We're trying to make sure that they're settled first, and then we can slowly, build these other players as well. The problem is if you play too many young players quickly, and the expectation is high, and they don't have the experience, and then it's a bit of an interesting mix. So you have to try and balance these things and make sure you don't expose those players too quickly, too soon, and also need to rein them in when it's needed.
It's been a pretty hectic 24 hours. You had the scare yesterday. How did that hit you? Where were you? What were you doing?
Nothing. I kind of laughed when they put a bomb thread in with I think it was a Google feedback form. If I was putting a bomb thread, I'd probably call through, not send it through email. It was just more protocol yesterday. I think someone's had a bit of a hoax, and unfortunately, it just cost us a bit of time of the day. But we were training back here in the afternoon, just a bit more of a delay for the boys. We actually shifted to the park behind here, and then we were going to train, and then I just thought, all right, let's just wait a little bit, see if we can get a clearance here. And the bomb squad came in, gave the all clearance, and it was fine. It was nothing.
So, how do you sort of bounce back now from the weekend's result? I think it's the first time under you that there's been back-to-back defeats.
Yeah, look, it was always going to happen. These things, I've been very lucky in that sense. I've had a lot of good results and so on. Look, the group's disappointed with the result. Again, for me, where it's critical with this group is, I think the group itself needs to find its own purpose, its own sense of unity. We addressed that this week, in terms of what our values are as a group. I was very big on that last year, so it's a good opportunity for me to go back and start from scratch again and just build on some of the stuff that I think we needed to to address. But again, look, we're not panicked or anything like that. It's nowhere near that. I just think that, I think for a large part, if you switch off for 5 minutes in this league, you get punished. We switched off for a couple of minutes. We didn't recover well on the second goal. Even the first goal, I was really disappointed with the pressure on the ball. It's such an early part of the game. I just felt like we were a little bit, I don't want to say the word flat, because that implies fatigue. It was just more of a mental focus. And I think that's stuff that we can fix. It's nothing too extreme. And then I think we turn in a good performance, and then everything's forgotten. But for me, I think the most important thing is the consistency, coming out every game, having that right mentality. Like recovering. Doesn't matter how spent you are, or these are things that aren't about talent. It's just more about the mindset.
So in layman's terms, is it consistent? Is it concentration almost?
So I think focus for a large part. I think as well, again, I think you get a feel in a game, and my feeling was in that game, I didn't think we were going to lose, but I didn't think we had the right sort of focus going into the game where we could have taken opportunity. Because you saw, once we conceded and then we started building the game, there were really good moments. The hard thing is just consistently doing that, even when the opposition changes. I think we have a team really smart enough and flexible enough that they can adapt to that. And I just, when we came to the second half, I think the only thing that they adjusted was Yakulis coming a little bit down to block Marco. But obviously, okay, if Marco can't get on the ball, then Hideki on the other side can get the ball, Suts can get the ball on the other side, and I just felt like we didn't do that well. So that is a focus thing for me.
And is it also magnified a little bit considering how well Auckland's doing as well? They still can't get it wrong.
We're still early in the piece, I mean, every week I think everyone's talking about Auckland and us like we're the only two teams in the competition. I know we're the only two teams here in New Zealand, but the season's got a long way to play out. There's a lot of twists and turns, a couple of injuries to either squad, and can look very differently in like a month or two. Again, for me, the refocus now is on a game-by-game proposition. We're going to go back to now controlling what we can. We're going to get back down to, what works for us. And again, I don't want to be talking about Auckland. I don't want to be talking about winning the competition. I don't want to be talking about any of that, because that just drives expectation, anxiety that it's not needed. Again, we're a very humble team. We work very hard. We're going to go back to being grounded, and things will play out the way they will.
And just a word on Alex, up in sort of this delicate moment of your campaign, and how he's shown his leadership skills.
Yeah, again, Alex, for me, he's the driver for the whole team. I don't make any, I'm not, I don't hide from that. My captain is my most important person, but he leads by example. But again, it's not about words. It's not about cliches or, what you say in the media and so on. It's actually done by action. And I think, great leaders are the ones that, in the 90th minute are still running, pushing hard, communicating, and being the example as opposed to, just what you want to hear, And I think that's, I talk to my team about that all the time, about legacy teams. Legacy teams, the consistency, or the thing that's been shown in all the legacy teams is that the captains, for 3 or 4 years of winning straight, they're the leaders, and they're the ones that do the unassuming stuff. They do the hard work. You don't even notice them, but when it gets to that last moment, they're the ones making the big tackles. They're the ones being active. They're the ones controlling, the play and so on. So Riffs is no different. I mean, if you look at his evolution for me since I've been in charge the last 2 years, I think he's been a great leader. He's come of age, and for me, I want to see him at a World Cup. I want to see him starting, and I want him to, be the best 6 in those games, And I think that, is very achievable. But again, he's not going to be perfect now. It takes time, and you've got to build confidence. You also, you need to build belief with this new playing squad as well. We've got half a new squad. So, yeah, things will come. Yeah, those things will come.
Are you looking forward to seeing BK?
Yes, BK, Miss BK is a great kid. The amount of times that he made me laugh last year was, no, but he's a very good person. I'm very happy for him. He got his move, to Wanderers. He's a father now, and I wish him the best of luck.
And does it give you confidence, after the 2 defeats, that you've got a perfect record in Australia? The team's travelled pretty well.
This is every time we bring these records up. Like last week, the Bulls undefeated. Look, it doesn't matter for me now. I'm not worrying about any records, any stats, so you can tell Vorman he can stop with all that stuff. For me, we just need to focus on what we need to, which is the next half of football and then the second half of football after that.